Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beyond Boundaries with Lisa Richmond. I am Lisa Richmond, and this is Tarot Tuesday. So, welcome back. This is exciting. I hope that everybody had a really wonderful summer, a break if you got a break, and got to sit in that beautiful sunshine and receive some glorious light codes and upgrades and connection with loved ones. I know I did. It was a great summer, and I'm very happy to be back. But let's jump in and see what tarot has to say. Today I'm going to be using the Wisdom of the Oracle to start off with some general kind of energy. Then I'm going to pull the Light Seers Tarot, and then I'm going to end off with Sacred Symbols. The Sacred Symbols Oracle is so clear cut. It's just like it kind of ties in a lot of the energies and the messages. Okay, so let's jump in. I'm going to ask Spirit to come in and allow any of these messages to come in with ease and grace from and only from the highest consciousness available. And may we be surrounded by love, ease, and grace today. Awesome. All right. What does the Wisdom of the Oracle? Now, again, these are timeless readings, meaning that you can watch it now and take whatever you want from the video. But then you can also come back if you're guided to come back, or whenever you find this, there's a message here for you. Okay. And because it is a collective reading, if something comes up that doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. Just leave it for with whom it's for. Right. But if you're tuning in today, guaranteed there's a message for you. Always is. All right, Spirit, what does my beautiful collective community here at Beyond Boundaries need to hear today coming into fall? Okay. Number 10, we have Unfinished Symphony. Imagine. Number 20, 10, 20. Whoa. And Mending. Okay, 25. Okay, so there's some beautiful imagery in these three cards, 10, 20, 30. So Unfinished Symphony, Imagine, and Mending. All three cards have beautiful imagery of the sky. And so there is a ton of energy that's actually coming through from the cosmos, from the sun, from the sky. So if any of you are sun gazers or you are cloud gazers, this is a validation for you, is that sometimes a lot of our energy needs to be cleared and grounded outside. Now, tuning in today, I did get beforehand a lot of grounding energy. That there's a lot of collective chaos happening right now. And the more that we can ground into our energy, ground into the energy of Mother Earth, and connect ourselves with the higher power, connect ourselves with that of air. If there's a lot of air signs coming through, and if you do gaze, there's a lot of cloud imagery here. To be able to connect ourselves in order to allow ourselves to feel grounded in our knowing, grounded in our energy, because with the collective energy being so chaotic right now and over the next couple months, it's not to just mess with us. It's not like, okay, here humans have a bunch of chaos that you don't know what to do with, and then just like stew in some fear. That's fun. No, it's not like that. It's like, that's why I'm not bringing you forward this message with fear. I'm bringing you forward this message of be aware that the collective energy is chaos for our greater good, because there's a ton of upheaval happening. And the upheaval is happening in order for us to clear out old karmas, old stories, old narratives that are this is on a personal basis, that are holding us back from being able to fully immerse ourselves in that higher timeline. Collectively, it's happening because upheaval needs to happen in order for that energy existing in kind of all large organizations, whether it be, healthcare, finances, education, all the big powers at bay, for a lot of upheaval for that, so that top down can start crumbling and we can start rebuilding from a place of that higher consciousness. And that is what is happening. Okay. So this isn't to elicit fear. This is to elicit your ability to connect in with your strength, your higher self, in order to like firmly step forward in this chaos energy, so that you can rebuild your world, your reality in that high consciousness timeline. Okay. So with unfinished symphony, there is this, it's kind of like the unfinished business that's resurfacing. I don't know, I'm not an astrologer, okay, but I know that Pluto's moved back into Capricorn right now, which is eliciting these old karmas, these old things, energy that came through in 2008. Okay. There was a financial collapse in 2008. I'm not saying there's going to be. I'm saying that there's some unfinished business that still needs to be tied up in that whole realm of stuff. Okay. So Capricorn's having its like day in the sun right now. So if you're Capricorn, sun, moon, rising, or you have Capricorn in your chart, know that there is a ton of stuff coming up right now for you to clear and to not be sucked into the energy, but to allow yourself to finish these unfinished symphonies, to finish this off. And you can choose how you want to engage in it. So don't engage in the chaos, because that's the whole energy that we're clearing. Engage in it in this symphony. Think of it like a symphony where there's like a harmonic way of doing it, a harmonious gathering, a harmonious way of approaching what we need to do and how we need to be in order to get us through this energy. Okay. The egg is having symbolism here too. So the egg is all about like hatching, rehatching, having this new birth. And so music is a big one too. So the energy frequency that's coming in with music and sound, use it to your advantage. Don't be listening to anything that pulls you into an old consciousness, an old vibration. Allow yourself to raise your consciousness and vibration by using the frequency of sound, whether it be sound, music, talking, speaking. Like, how are the sounds and what you're hearing around you influencing that old vibration, that old sound, and how can you be in control of it in order to rebalance and go forward? Okay. And then imagine is like, this is such a beautiful card because this is you really manifesting what is coming forward. The imagine is like connecting yourself, your heart center into that. Like, they're really showing me like laying back and like gazing up at the clouds and allowing that energy to move through you, allowing the wind energy to move through you. And use this time, maybe grab your journal and start journaling and talking and like moving through the energy of what you want to see coming. Okay. So when upheaval happens, that's change. And what do you imagine your life to look like when the dust is settled? Okay. We're moving out the old, we're bringing down old things. What do you imagine my ideal life looks like? How do you imagine and envision your life to be in a perfect environment, in an environment that's supportive and loving, right? Start bringing those forward rather than unconscious fears that are being elicited by the fear energy around you, right? Every time you feel this like unconscious hit of anxiety come forward, think, okay, I'm removing the story from around me and I'm coming into my own power and I'm bringing in my own energy. And how do I imagine my ideal self to be? What does it look like when I feel truly safe, supported, loved, heard, validated? What does that look like? How does that feel? Okay, so having that imagery of like daydreaming, but really visualizing what this looks like when we rewrite our story. Okay? Be really clear about that. And then the mending card is really about mending those old relates. Some relationships are they're out, they're cut because they have to be. And I'm not talking about cancel culture. I'm talking about boundaries and identifying exactly who is here for my rise of consciousness in my imagine my life to look like. Is this person with me? Okay. So you guys are going to love this. I have tried to record this video probably like 4 times, and it doesn't work for some reason or another. And it's not even Mercury retrograde anymore. But this is kind of what the energy is kind of that I'm talking about right now, where there is this kind of collective chaos, things not really working out, frustration, but then being able to like center yourself and then allow the message to come through. So I continued on with the reading, not knowing the phone wasn't recording anymore, and pulled a whole bunch of cards, got all excited, did the reading, and then it wasn't there. So I'm gonna do it again because it's really important. But I left the cards out that I pulled, so it was really good. Okay, so the last I want to talk about is the mending and knowing that the imagery of the sky again is really important, and how we connect to the air element and what we bring through from the sky. So when we ground ourselves, right now the grounding energy is all about rebalancing our nervous system, rebalancing our energy, and then connecting to the cosmos, connecting to the sky, and having those elements integrate into our energy field. Because I've talked about this a lot, right? Is that when we ground ourselves in our own energy and we ground ourselves in our knowing, then what shows up around us becomes easier to decipher and work through, because we're no longer being driven by whatever's out here, right? It's here first, projecting this versus this affecting this. So this is particularly important to remember right now, is that the outside energy isn't dictating to us how to feel. It does unconsciously when we're unconscious, because then all of a sudden we get plagued with this like fear. The fear energy is so fierce right now. It's so strong. And we like all of these unconscious fears are coming to the surface. So if we have an unfinished symphony, if we have an unfinished energy that we haven't done our full cycle in, then it will come up and it will elicit that feeling in a body that is connected to that wounding that hasn't been cleared yet. And that's what this upheaval energy is. What is our unfinished symphony? How is it affecting ourselves? Mending that energy. And then imagine. It's like that song, Imagine, from John Lennon, right? And that imagery is kind of similar to that too, is what does my ideal life look like? Okay. So that's like the overwhelming collective energy. And then when I pulled it from the tarot, you guys, you can't even write this stuff. I got 10 of Swords, which is usually like womp womp, like it's pretty like hardcore energy. But in this case, again, she's standing there, she's walking away into the abyss. The sky is starting to get lighter, the birds are ahead, and she's walking away, right? And you can see she's walking into the kind of like breeze, the wind, into that sky energy, same thing. Then we have the star, which cosmos energy, sky energy. Again, the star is very much like that. Imagine, wish upon a star. What do you see for your life? You are the star of your own existence. And they also brought through, I talked about this before, that it didn't record, but when this is about connecting in, some of you, this might be for some, okay, select few, that almost like know your star system in which you're from, like where you're from. It might be time for you to connect with that sense of home, like where you're from. And sometimes we just look off into the stars and have this longing for home. This is very much about like asking, even if you're not certain about your star system, let's say, you can ask your guidance system, your higher self, your guides, please help me to connect into my knowing, my sense of home, my sense of safety and security in this chaos, so that I can ground myself into that knowing. Like, send me that energy. Right now, it's a bit tricky to be human. Please help me through this. And that's what this card can really, really help to elicit. And then I got the World card, number 21, the World card, which, I mean, you guys, the World card is all about creating this new, right? A whole new world. That was coming into mind from Aladdin, a whole new world. And these really reflect the top row, the unfinished symphony. Imagine and mending is literally 10 of Swords, unfinished, like all this stuff, finishing it up, walking away. The stars they imagine, and the world is like the whole new energy of when we ground in ourselves, when we stay in the eye of the storm, watch the chaos go around, because we know deep down inside this chaos has to happen in order for us to live the world card, to live in this new existence. We can look and wish upon a star. We know, we say, hey, guide us through this. I have this like spark in me that knows that this is for the greater good. And even though we are being fed all this stuff around us and that we're experiencing a world of turmoil, and like we've experienced a ton of trauma, a ton of like, like deaths, passing, like things being kind of rug pulled out from underneath us, because anything that was set in the energy of the old cycle is being uprooted so that we can create a new cycle, so that we can create a new formation of our new cycle. Another thing that came through with the star card was if you're not familiar with like astrology, like maybe you know your sun sign and every once in a while look at your horoscope, that's fine. But more so than like an individual like star, like your sun sign kind of thing, they're saying look into what is happening in the cosmos, what's happening in our planetary alignment right now, because it is deeply affecting the chaos that's happening around us. Okay, so the whole like Pluto and Capricorn thing that happened in 2008, right? We are going through a massive cycle, finishing up this big cycle from 2008. So what has gone down, all the lessons, all the karmas, everything that we've learned from, grown from, experienced, we're wrapping that up in a big package right now. And it feels like a lot. It feels like a lot. So what this is saying is like, maybe just do a little digging and understanding of what's going on right now in our planetary alignment. So it helps you to understand that all of this is happening for us, even though it might not feel like it. It is happening for us so that we can create space of healing and growth to be able to rise up into this higher vibration, okay? And then the last two cards that I pulled was Grounded, was from the Sacred Symbols. Grounded, which is the whole energy of this entire reading, is grounding our energy in the eye so that we can clear up these old karmas out of this cycle and then move into the new. And then the last card was New Life. Literally, ground so that we can get to our new life. So I want to say that I do send a ton of love and compassion for everyone out there who's dealing with a lot right now. And know that you've got this. And if anything is like deeply triggering or is coming up, it is not for you to be the victim of, even though I do give you a ton of compassion for the real hard things. But look deep within and say, how can I heal this existing wounding in order for me to be able to rise up? This is all about that cycle and those karmic baggage, I have to say, lack of a better term, so that you can rise up into your new life, into the world card. Okay, imagine what you want your life to look like. This is a beautiful reading of affirmations to self that you got this and your new life is coming. Okay, be picky about the energy that you surround yourself with. Listen to high quality, high frequency music, sounds, speaking. If you can feel fear in people's messages or songs or energy, kindly remove yourself. Redo your energy and then go forward, okay? This is an opportunity to, when the fear arises, get back in to ground yourself and then keep going, okay? So thank you so much for tuning in this week. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Do share it with somebody that you think would really benefit from this message. I feel like there's tidbits here for all of us. Also, check out avalonspirit.com, as I have a bunch of new offerings there and my schedule's opened up and I'm really excited about it. So I hope to see you next week. Come back, and I hope that this week serves you in a loving way. And when in doubt, just go into your heart space, okay? remove the stories, rebalance your energy, and then go forward. Okay. I'm sending you lots of love and peace. Okay. See you next week, guys.